What's up, everybody?
Hey.
We are at, I know that's funny, like we go like that and it's kind of like, stick them up. No, just kidding. It's Level Up. It's Level Up episode 27, where we help you build and grow your dream practice and live your dream lifestyle. And today's question comes from Allison Coffee. Allison asked a question about one of my favorite topics.
Your favorite, and it makes me want to go take a nap.
Allison asked us a question about taxes. How should I really prepare my business for taxes? Do I do quarterly? Do I do yearly? All that good stuff.
All that good stuff. But before we get to your answer, we want to take a moment to say thank you to TherapyNotes for sponsoring this series. If you guys are in need of an amazing EHR, definitely check them out, and you can get your first 2 months for free with code PPS, as in Private Practice Startup. Just head over to therapynotes.com and check them out. By the way, we're Kate and Katie, in case this is the first time we are introducing ourselves to you. And let's talk about your favorite topic, taxes.
Well, one of them. Well, the reason I love taxes is because once you know the rules of the game, you know how to play in the sandbox. And there's actually a lot of tax benefits. So it's really important, number one, to have a really great relationship with your accountant. And if you don't like your accountant, or you're just kind of using whoever to prepare your taxes, it might be time, especially being a private practice owner, to find someone that you really like. Your accountant really can be a very...
you really trust.
Absolutely. They can be a good friend, and they can really help you navigate and actually reduce expenses. Taxes are the single biggest expense that we ever pay in our lifetime, even more than a mortgage. So you want to find ways to reduce your taxes. So one of the things, a lot of times, like if you're just starting out in private practice, a lot of times like you'll bring that information to your accountant at the beginning of the year for the year prior, right? And okay, great. I really recommend having at least a quarterly check-in with your accountant. One of the things that's a good way to think about, not the tax aspect, is to look at really the bookkeeping. And the bookkeeping is really important in the sense of tracking and measuring expenses and income. And that's going to help you determine and plan certain things. I know I'm just like taking over this topic, Kate, so I'll let you jump in.
I'm not a person who loves numbers, and I never have been, but I like to see numbers
checks
coming in. I like to see money coming in, but the whole like bookkeeping aspect, I have outsourced that stuff. I have an amazing accountant that takes care of that. I like to be informed, which is important. Sure. Yes. So carry on.
So one of the important things is it's really going to kind of determine how you do your taxes is really going to determine what it is that you're really looking for and doing. I'm a very proactive person. Like I said, I really like to understand what's happening in my money. Like for example, I remember when I first got into private practice, I had known to save, and I started saving 20% off the top. I remember going into my accountant's office the first year that I was doing really well, and he took a deep breath and he was like, I'm like, what? And he's like, you have a big tax liability. I was like, okay. So he takes the computer and he like turns it towards me, and it said like $17,000. And I was like, yes! And he like looked at me like cross-eyed. Who gets excited to pay Uncle Sam $17,000? Well, I had saved like 22, so technically I felt like I got a refund. So it's really important to understand your tax bracket, your expenses, and one of the great ways of saving money is to understand how your corporation is taxed. As you start to grow in your private practice, there's different tax shelters and tax benefits from going from maybe an LLC into an S Corp. And like things like, it can save you like $5,000 a year. That's a nice little vacation, guys.
And there's a lot of resources out there that can help you to manage this. And as you're paying yourself, or if you have a group practice, if you have an employee model and you're paying your employees, there's different platforms out there like SquareUp, QuickBooks, and
Wave App. We used Wave App before.
Wave App. But I was specifically talking about payroll. So payroll is really helpful because it can automate some of this. So you're paying the taxes as you go throughout the year. You're not waiting for that one conversation with your accountant. So how many taxes do I owe? How much money do I owe for taxes the entire year? It makes it more manageable paying over time like that.
And you actually, by law, so if you're only in private practice and that's only your income and you're not a W-2, you do need to make quarterly not quarterly tax payments, but you do need to make tax payments throughout the year. You can't not pay anything, right? At that time, I was still a W-2, so I was paying taxes. So a lot goes into this. If this conversation is like making you feel like you need a nap, get with an accountant. One that's really cool and speak in layman's terms, not all that legal mumbo jumbo or tax law or in the code.
Snooze fest. Snooze fest.
So again, it just really determines on kind of where you are in private practice, what type of mindset you have around your money and expensive, is if you're proactive or you wait till the last minute.
And then another resource for you guys is Profit First. I know we've talked about it a lot of times before. Mike Michalowicz wrote this amazing book, and it's really helpful because you have different categories of bank accounts so that you can stay organized and you can have money that you're earning throughout the year that you have in your tax account. And when it comes to tax season, it's one of my favorite times of the year because we get an extra bonus every time because we've saved so much money in that account throughout the year. It definitely makes it a much less stressful experience.
And we've got a few good podcasts actually talking about taxes and tax strategy. That's really good to check out. So we'll put that in the links for you guys in the resources section.
Yes, we hope you're enjoying these topics and the Level Up series because we're answering your specific questions. And if you have a question that we have not answered yet, definitely look for the Ask Us post in our Facebook group. You'll see the thread there for that. Pop your question in there and we're happy to answer it.
On Tuesdays.
Yes.
It comes out every Tuesdays.
Every week.
And also, if you want further information on how we can help and support you in your practice, check out privatepracticestartup.com. And ultimately, guys, remember,
you got this. We'll see you next time.